And so tell us about this piece and Dachau for Queers and what inspired bringing it to Fringe at this time.
Oh, wow. Well, it's kind of a two-part explanation. So,
Hmm.
Dachau for Queers, the title, refers to a nickname that was given to a psychiatric hospital in California, which is a real place. It still exists. In the 1960s, up until about 1973, it was a place where gay men were incarcerated for minor offenses. You could be arrested for holding hands, for kissing in public, that kind of thing. And instead of jail time, they were sent to a Atascadero hospital, which became nicknamed Dachau for Queers because the hospital endorsed a series of aversion therapies, both psychotropic drugs and also electroshock therapy, and most upsettingly, lobotomies. He gets arrested and caught up in this maze, and he has to sort of use his wits and use his just sort of this developing sense of self identity that he has to survive this awful place. So, in many ways, it's sort of an allegory to the experience of gay youth coming out and surviving in America.
Hmm.
You know, the more things change, the more things stay the same, right? That's the
Yeah.
thing. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of commonality, and I think audiences, when they go and see it, there are a lot of references to the 1960s. So I'm going to age myself terribly when I say that. But people will see a lot of relevance to stories from today. And it's not so much where you stand on a political spectrum. It's treating people with empathy and
Hmm.
respect, right, where they are. And that, I think, is where we're missing a lot of the conversation now. Is there's just not a lot of empathy and a striving for understanding for people that aren't like us. And
Hmm.
that's really what the play speaks to.
Hmm. So, so when did you get started putting this piece together?
Well, 2 years ago, I heard a fantastic podcast by Lee Romney, who's a journalist in California. And she has a podcast called, I think it's called November in My Bones, but it's a podcast about the synergy of the California prison system with their mental health initiatives and the history of that, the complicated history of that. And so she did an episode on this period in the 60s at a Atascadero where homosexuality was listed in the American Psychiatric Association's handbook. It was listed as a sexual deviation. And along with all sorts of awful crimes. And so you could be arrested for this. California was not always the blue state that we know and love today.